Hello and good afternoon, lovely people. Welcome back to Spill the Tea Lou. My name, of course, is Lou, and I can see you guys already in the chat, getting stuck in, getting involved, having a chat, and I love to see it. So first of all, I want to say hello to everybody. Hello and welcome to Rob. Rob was here first today. Rob beat the crowds today and was here first. Gaz is in the house. Lovely Shem is here. Lucky is in the house. Everybody having a good old chat. Yes, I did indeed spot you earlier, Rob. Don't you worry about that. Huge is also in the house. Lucky is talking about Glazers out. Shem is talking about Enoch out. Vinay out. Lange out. Oh my goodness me, everybody out except us, guys. So first of all, let's take a look at our new updated banner, which is very exciting. We officially have 500 teacups at our Mad Hatter tea party. If you are new, please join the teacup crew. So of course, welcome and hello to all of our lovely regulars, our normal subscribers, the people that have been here from the very beginning when I said, let me just test this out and sure we'll see what happens. I don't really know if anything will come of it. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who has joined since, all of the lovely new people that have come in, obviously from John Hassam's channel. I know we have some of the lovelies from Kate and Jimbo's channel. Thank you to everybody who watches, who gets involved, who chats, who doesn't. Some people don't like to chat. Some people like to put it on in the background when they're pottering around doing their bits in their houses. Thank you to everybody. All the likes, all the everything. What you will now see is that obviously because I've gone over 500, there will be some different options available on the channel. I'm working on the membership thing. So I've applied for the memberships. So hopefully we're going to be able to do that soon. Wait till you see the names I have for the memberships. I've had to submit it. So wait till you see what I've put in. They're very fun. And Rob, oh my God, Rob, straight in, Rob, straight in. It just says super sticker. Why doesn't it tell me what it is? So as Rob has discovered, you can now also put in super chats and super stickers. I can see it here on my other screen. So for everybody who can't see it, that's so fun, Rob. It's like a dancing pair doing like a celebration. It has like a little, ooh, do you know the things you blow at a party? Thank you so much, Rob. And to be fair, Rob is officially the very first person ever on Spill the Tea Lou to do a super sticker / super chat. Thank you very, very much, Rob. You're forever the first. That's it. Nobody can be the first ever again. So big up to Rob. Thank you so much. Lovely Mama Flossie is in the house. And you'll see today I'm not doing this on OBS. I am doing this on StreamYard. I'm a bit of a cheapskate. I have the free StreamYard. And so you only get like a certain amount of allocated hours that you can live stream per month. And I save them for when I do my lives with Kai. But today I wanted to be able to put all of the chats on the screen. Obviously, I'll show the super chats. Anybody that wants to do that, feel free. If you don't, absolutely no pressure. But the option is now available, guys. You're so cute. Mama Flossie, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much. And like that, like Rob has been here from the start. Mama Flossie, honestly, she's like, not only is she a mod, but she's a very good friend. And she's like, I should be paying her for being a therapist because when anything goes wrong on the channel, I'm like, Flossie. So I appreciate you guys so much. Shem thought that was Rob dancing. Maybe it was. He did threaten he was going to dance. Maybe that was Rob's dance and we just didn't know it. It was in disguise. But guys, honestly, thank you so much. I appreciate you just being here, being honest with you. I appreciate the fact that you actually take time out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate the fact that you listen to me rambling on and that you enjoy it as much as I do, that we have such a laugh and a giggle together. And honestly, I can't put into words how much I appreciate it. Some of you guys will know this and some of you guys won't. So spoiler, I will have mentioned quite a few times that I was running my own shop. Unfortunately, just due to the likes of Shein and Temu and online sort of selling, unfortunately, the business just didn't work out, which is why I'm able to do afternoon shows now at the minute. But so, like, any support at all, like, to be able to do this from you guys, and as that, like, literally just taking time to watch the stream, even if you're busy but you come and smash a like, that's all so important to me. So I want you to know how much I really genuinely appreciate it. But yeah, so thank you guys. We are a growing tea party. Look at us go. But sometimes when we grow, sometimes things happen. And so while we're very happy today, I do just want to address some comments that were in the chat yesterday that I wasn't very happy with. Because obviously, as we grow, more people are going to join us, and sometimes maybe they won't get the vibe of the chat straight away. Every channel is different. The vibe's a little bit different. Sometimes you're finding your feet, okay? Which is totally fine. But we're quite relaxed in here. We're quite chilled. We have a bit of a laugh, a bit of a giggle. We do talk about some football. We do talk about some other things, but it's very chilled, very relaxed. Yesterday on the live stream, there were some comments about me being topless, which was obviously not true, and some eggplant emojis and that kind of a thing. And I just want to make it very clear to everybody, my looks are off limits. What I look like, not relevant to what I'm talking about. It's not the kind of thing we're going to be having. It's really, really disrespectful. When you pair it with them stupid eggplant emojis, it's honestly so incredibly disrespectful. It's not going to be tolerated on the channel. It's not going to be tolerated in the chat. If anybody does that, they're going to be just removed immediately. And I do mean immediately. It's not going to be like, oh, it was banter, oh, it was a laugh, oh, it was a joke, I didn't mean it and by it. I'm telling everybody together at the same time, so it's very clear and there's no confusion. We're not here to talk about what I look like, what I'm wearing, and we're certainly not here to make sexual comments about me. That happens and you're out. Straight up, okay? Flossie and Guest last night had to remove a number of comments from people, regular people that I was quite disappointed with. So I just want to put that out there for everybody. I'm not going to be naming the people, but they'll know who they are. So I just want to put that out there as like a very straightforward ground rule. Sexual comments, you're in the bin, son. That's it, you're out. But back to the happy, joyous talk that we normally have. It was just, I don't like it being serious. As you know, I'm never serious. But those kind of things need to be talked about. It's just not going to be tolerated. It's not going to happen. So don't do it, please. But yes, Huge is saying that sucks. It does suck and it's disappointing and it's not nice. And sometimes it's from people you don't expect it from. But look, maybe sometimes people, they're quite merry in the evening and they say things they don't realize when they're saying it. So let's just put it out there and then we're all on the same page. So yeah, like Rob is saying that's right. Lucky's saying that's not right. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way it is. But look, we've addressed it now and we shall move on. We shall move on to, well, I was going to say happier topics. It's probably not happier for Emi Martinez. Now, I saw this a few weeks ago. And I saved it. You know I do this. I like to scroll through my X and I bookmark. And then when I spot something, I'm like, oh, that's a good topic for the show. I saw this a few weeks ago and I just saved it. Shem, can I still call you lovely Lady Lou, or should I go to Miss Lou Boss Lady? You can call me any variation of that, Shem. You have never in any way ever been untoward, so don't you worry about that. You are always lovely, so don't you worry. You are definitely not one of the people that I'm talking about. But yes, you are always, as Flossie says, you are always a gentleman, so don't you worry about that. The people that I'm talking about know who they are. Absolutely 100%. So don't worry. If you're thinking, is it me? It's not you, because these people will know 100%. But yes, Emi Martinez, I saw this a few weeks ago and I was expecting then it to kind of blow up a bit. I was expecting there to be more news. It would start to gain traction, particularly now in the international break. There's not much to talk about. I did think kind of the bigger accounts, on X, some journalists and some other YouTubers, I thought they might start to catch on to the story and more might come out and that I would have more information to be able to give you on the subject, because obviously when we talk about things, I want to be able to give you information. I'll give you my opinion, but I want to be able to give you the facts as well. The thing is, nothing seems to be happening, which I find almost as curious as if there was loads and loads of news about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share what we know so far, and then you guys can tell me if you know anything that I don't know. So this here is the article, okay? Now this, it's coming up as the New York Times, but it's The Athletic is owned by the New York Times. So the article itself actually appeared in The Athletic, as you can see here. It was written by Jacob Tanswell. He's not one of the super famous journalists, but I mean, he writes for The Athletic here. So Aston Villa's Emi Martinez appears to be breaching FA's gambling rules. Now, straight away, that's a headline that is going to catch your attention because that's kind of a big deal, and he's not the first player in recent times that could be said about. So that, I thought straight away, was like a really interesting thing, and I was like, okay, how have we not heard about this before? Now, this was written on the 6th of March, so as I said, it was a few weeks ago. But I'm going to read a bit of it out to you, okay? Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez appears to be breaching the Football Association's rules regarding promoting betting companies. According to a press release from Bplay, a sports betting website in his native Argentina, Martinez became a brand ambassador more than a year and a half ago. A post on the Bplay website from June 2024 introduces Martinez as an ambassador, referencing a commercial in which the 33-year-old starred. A new campaign launched in October 2025 features Martinez and his brother Alejandro, a professional motorsport driver, wearing each other's kit. This was to represent, according to Bplay, how sport can unite, even those who travel different paths. World Cup winner Martinez is featured prominently on Bplay's website and social media output, with the online sporting betting and casino platform founded in 2020 and a regulated operator in Argentina. So just crazy that there isn't more talk about this. So Flossie is saying there, I've heard nothing about this. Gaz is saying me neither, Flossie. And to be fair, we were linked to Martinez last summer. Normally when players get linked to Man United, all of the skeletons come out of the closet. Everything gets talked about, everything gets blown up. So at the minute, we're being kind of associated somewhat with Tonali, even though I said I didn't think it was going to happen. Shockingly, it's not going to happen. But supposedly United have doubts over his previous history with gambling. So the fact that we were linked with Emi Martinez quite a lot prior to getting Sene Lammens in, I'm really surprised that this wasn't spoken about at all. So it seems to be across the board. Nobody's really talking about it, which is very, very curious. But the article continues. Under FA regulations, professional footballers in England are strictly prohibited from personally promoting, advertising, or endorsing betting activity that they themselves are forbidden from engaging in. FA rules state that, and this is a direct quote, an individual participant, when acting in a personal capacity, shall not be permitted to advertise or promote any betting activity that the participant is prohibited from engaging in by Rule 8.1, 8.2, or 8.4. So that's quite specific. Those rules prevent players from betting in matches, leagues, or competitions they are playing in or can influence. As well as tournaments in South America, which obviously is where he plays, and Europe, the Bplay website offers odds on the Premier League, FA Cup, and the Europa League, 3 of the 4 competitions Villa have featured in this season, which obviously means that it falls within these rules. So, when approached by The Athletic, the FA said it is aware of the matter. So, this came out, let me just remind you, in 2024. This is now 2026. And the FA have apparently told The Athletic they're aware of the matter. Well, that's good, because nobody bloody else was. Villa and Martinez's representatives and Bplay did not respond to requests for comment. In 2019, former Everton defender Yerry Mina was fined £10,000 and warned as to his future conduct after appearing in a TV advert in Colombia for a Colombian betting company, Betjuego. Villa's current front of shirt sponsor is Betano, a UK sports betting and gambling site. So you can see why there might be a bit of a conflict here. The club signed a 2-year deal ahead of the 24-25 campaign, which will end this summer. That comes ahead of new Premier League rules coming into effect, which prohibit teams from having front-of-shirt gambling sponsors from the start of the 26-27 season. Following Ivan Toney's suspension for betting offences, the FA has increased education given to players on gambling rules. This includes a short e-learning course for young players within academy systems, educating them on betting rules and its guidelines. Further mandatory awareness of the rules is raised through player workshops. That is an enormous amount of information. That's a really, really substantial amount of information that nobody else has reported on. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that nobody else is speaking about this. It's such a huge deal. And everybody's like, what you talking about? Other than The Athletic, nobody's talking about it. And even then, The Athletic posted that 3 weeks ago. So crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, there is more information we're going to get into, but I want to have a little bit of a look at your comments. Shem is saying, okay then, Miss Lovely Boss Lady Lou. I like that one. I'm going to get that on a t-shirt. Lovely Miss Boss Lady Lou. I think that suits me. Rob is saying, I think Emi is out of order. Aaron is in the house saying good afternoon to me and to the chat. Flossie is saying, Emi thinks he is a law unto himself. Luke, you're not on the naughty step. Why would you be on the naughty step? What did you do? No, you're not on the naughty step. Welcome to Luke. And everybody is just saying hi, and big up. Now, what we're going to do, and we do this often, we're going to take a little look at how sometimes things on the internet can take a life of their own and how one thing can turn into something completely different. Okay, so this is a really good example of it happening again. Now, let me show you this. So this is from Yahoo Sports, okay? And they're basically re-reporting what The Athletic did. They haven't done any work. They haven't given any new information. They're re-reporting on The Athletic article, basically, okay? But look at what they've said. They have said, Emiliano Martinez, goalkeeper of Aston Villa, may face disciplinary action from the Football Association after appearing in promotional content for Argentine betting company. And you're like, oh, so they are doing something about it. Tell me more about this. And so they go on to say, according to The Athletic, which is the article we've just read, the FA is aware of the situation. Yep. And is reviewing whether the promotion breaks its rules. The Athletic did not say that. English football regulations strictly forbid players from advertising, blah, 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 blah. So, see that bit they've added in. The FA is aware of the situation and is reviewing whether the promotion breaks its rules. We have just read the entire Athletic article. At no point whatsoever does The Athletic say that it's being investigated. They don't say that. They say the FA is aware of it. They don't say the bit about investigation. That's been added by Yahoo. It wasn't said in the article. So they take stuff with enough truth, and I'm not saying they've done this on purpose, I'm saying it happens across media. They've taken the story with enough truth, they've added a little bit, and you see now if you Google this, everywhere across the board it says this is being investigated. They're all referencing the Athletic article, where it doesn't say at all it's being investigated. It just says the FA is aware of it. So I find that really, really interesting. That's how a little story snowballs into something massive. When you go back to the source, the information doesn't always quite match. They're aware. The Athletic didn't say it's being investigated, and nobody else is confirming it's being investigated. They're all referencing the article by The Athletic. So really, really, really interesting. But Again, you know me, we're like an onion in here. There's always layers. There's always more to talk about. So I have another layer for you because I wasn't satisfied with that. I wanted to know more, mostly because I'm a nosy cow and I need to know what's happening. When I find out there's a thing, I need to know what the thing is. And then I thought, well, if I want to know, other people are going to want to know. So I got my deep dive hat on and I had another look. But first, more comments from the people. So let me see. You're a regular, Miss Marple. I love Miss Marple. Do you know what? Now I am going to go back to Emi Martinez, but you've distracted me, Aaron. You've done the thing. You've distracted me. I love, see, like Hercule Poirot, Miss Marple, Murder, She Wrote, Angela Lansbury, love it. Inspector Frost, David Jason, right? Most people love David Jason from Only Fools and Horses. Not me. Inspector Frost, eat your heart out. I love it. Or Murder in Paradise, that's a good one. Love them all. See all those like granny, like the inspector, mystery, cozy murders. Love them. Love all of them. Diagnosis Murder. That's another good one. Absolutely correct. Like, love Diagnosis Murder. Fantastic. Aaron and Flossie are agreeing. Aaron and Flossie both love them as well. Absolutely love them. Showing my age there, guys. That's it. I just have a really good skincare routine. I'm actually 89. Rob Always United, also love those. Now, Guess is not with us at the moment because Guess is in school baking nice things, but I know for a fact Guess loves these. I have a Kindle because I don't have any room in my house for more books. So I have a Kindle. But do you know the way sometimes you get the flash sales on books, or you can get like the free books for cozy mysteries? Guess is fantastic. Every time there is a kind of a promotion where you can get the free cozy mystery books, Guess always sends me the link. Absolutely love it. Yes, and Shem is saying Father Brown as well. Absolutely love it. But after our slight detour, love that stuff. Love all that stuff. Whodunit films and shows are great. Look, I completely agree. Completely agree. Aaron, sometimes simple is best, and they're fantastic with a cup of tea. Rob is saying big up to Guess. Correct and right. She keeps me stocked up in books. But back to the task at hand. Investigation Emi Martinez, because no one else is doing it. Shem says, how brain dead are these players that they think they can get away with these things? Everything they do is always under a microscope. And that's the thing, right? There's no way he thought, like, they're making press releases on the internet with his face on them. He's done an advertisement with his face on it and his brother. There's no way he thinks nobody's going to see that. Surely he doesn't think nobody's going to see that. That would be a silly thing to think. So has he done it thinking it's okay? Like that it's within the rules, which would make you wonder, why would he think it's within the rules? You ask. Well, I answer. I have an answer. Flossie, I'm starring that comment. I'm going to come back to it. So why might he think it's okay to do this? Because he can't really think nobody's going to find out. So let's have a look at that. Let me pull it up. Now, this is the most up-to-date information that I can find anywhere on the internet, okay? This was written on the 10th of March, so 4 days after the Athletic article, okay? And these people give some actual information that they didn't just take from the Athletic. They reference it, but it's not just from the Athletic, okay? So this is myoldmansaid.com, which they've obviously done the anagram of moms, which I quite like. It's quite good. I like it. So what they have said is, Emi Martinez FA investigation, what we actually know. So that's what I like. Aaron, don't you worry about taking us off topic. We love a little detour. We love a little detour on this channel. I mean, to be fair, we've talked about pastries. We've talked about supernatural. So we've got into the TV shows. Now we're on to cozies. We're always in for a bit of a distraction. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're, as Flossie says, we're always off topic. It's not a big deal. Don't worry. So reports emerged this. Oh, by the way, this was written by Miles Roy, okay? So reports emerged this past week that Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez is under FA investigation over an alleged breach of betting advertising rules following his role as a brand ambassador for Argentine betting company Bplay since June of 2024. Before the speculation takes hold, it's worth establishing what this investigation actually involves and what it doesn't. Now, let me zoom this so you guys can actually see it as I'm reading it. I've put the link for the Athletic article into the description. So what I'm actually going to do while we're here is I'm going to put this link also into the description. So if you guys want to have a look at them later or share them with people, you can. So this one is going to be the mom's article. And no, that's not the right. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm doing my best. I promise I'm trying not to make a mess of this. If I crash the stream, my apologies. I'll be back. So save. Oh, go away. No, I'm going to have to do this a different way, right? Okay, so close that, go over here, edit here. Excellent. Okay, let's try that. Woohoo! I did it, and we're all still on the stream. Excellent work. So now we have in the description, you have the link to the Athletic article and also the link to this article here that we're about to read. So like that, I know it's different because I'm reading it out to you guys. It's different than when you have time to kind of go and read it yourself. You can click some things, you might, go down the rabbit hole, but they're there for you guys if you like. So journalist Guillem Balaghi, who obviously has closer connections to the club than most, has today provided the most useful clarity on the situation. So this was Guillem Balaghi's tweet. Let me tell you the latest on Emi Martinez on the FA, blah, 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 blah. So he's just, okay. So they're going to talk about that tweet. But you'll be able to, when you go in the article, you'll be able to click this link, this tweet, and it'll open it up for you as well. But we're not going to do that because they've done the work. We're just going to listen to what they said. The distinction Balaghi draws is significant. Martinez's work with Bplay has centered specifically on responsible gambling messaging with the direction of discouraging betting among young people and warning against illegal, unregulated platforms. His position within which his lawyers will now put to the FA, is that he has never endorsed betting on football itself. So maybe that's why he thought it was okay. He's saying, well, I'm not actually encouraging people to bet. In fact, I'm discouraging it. I'm part of campaigns for responsible gambling and for telling young people not to gamble. And I'm not encouraging gambling on football at all, which is what would be against the rules for me. So he thinks it's okay, which is obviously why he hasn't bothered to try and hide it, because he doesn't see that he's actually breaching the rules. He thinks, well, I'm actually trying to stop people from betting, certainly younger people, and, to be more responsible about it. Surely that's a good thing. I'm imagining is what he's saying. I'm paraphrasing for him, obviously. And yeah, Hugh just saying, Lou, the professional ITer. That's me. And Flossie is saying he's a great journal. So let's continue with kind of what he was talking about, okay? So the rules are, the FA's position is more technical than that defence implies. Their regulations prohibit players from personally promoting any betting company that takes wagers on competitions they participate in or could influence. The issue isn't whether Martinez explicitly told anyone to bet on a Villa game. It's that Bplay carries odds on the Premier League, FA Cup and Europa League. That association alone is enough to open a review under the current rules. A Bplay campaign in 2025 drew particular attention, in which Martinez swapped roles with his brother Alejandro, a professional motorsport driver, each taking the other's discipline. Martinez behind the wheel while his brother between the posts. Play presented it as a celebration of sport. Whether the FA considers the football adjacent framing sufficient to constitute a breach is precisely what the investigation will determine. Context is king. Don't worry, guys. This is the last section. It's like I'm reading you an audiobook today. But it's actually quite important. The information is quite good. And to be fair to them, the information is quite clear. So it's better for me to just read it out to you than to try and paraphrase and get it wrong. So context is relevant here. Cases of this nature have historically been resolved through fines rather than bans, particularly where intent is disputed and the player's legal team can demonstrate the campaigns were not straightforwardly promoting gambling. Martinez's situation is complicated by the responsible gambling framing, which his lawyers will lean on heavily, as opposed to the 2019 case of former Everton player Yerry Mina, who received a £10,000 fine for a more straight-up endorsement of a Colombia betting company. Gambling involvement in football by default creates grey areas, a case in point being GambleAware's sponsorship of the Football Supporters Association. While GambleAware is supposedly an independent charity to educate and support gambling-led harms, in reality, it is an enterprise that is funded yearly by millions of pounds of donations from betting companies. In the case of Martinez for now, as Balagi highlights, this is an investigation, not a charge. Until the FA concludes its review, everything else is conjecture. Martinez and Villa have not commented publicly. And so this I know about, having been involved in the industry. So GambleAware is, when you see those ads about gamble responsibly, don't do it if you're under this age, if you can't afford it, don't do it, So that is funded. So all of the gambling companies, you have like Safer Gambling Week. I'm assuming you guys have that in the UK as well. So here we have a thing called Safer Gambling Week, and it's a week where kind of all the bookmakers come together. They hand out leaflets and information on GambleAware, resources for helping people who are addicted to gambling or having gambling problems, and sort of raising awareness of the addictive nature of it and how detrimental it can be. And that's all run kind of, as I said, through Safer Gambling Week, but the purpose of it is to get people in touch with the GambleAware org and their resources if they're required. But it's all funded by the betting companies. And what it does is it gets some good PR, because they're like, yes, okay, we're taking your money. Yes, okay, we're the reason you might have this problem, but we're going to help you out after we've given you the problem. We're going to help you out, and we're going to show you where you can get help for that you probably won't take because you're addicted. So it's a whole can of worms. It's a complete topic that we're just not going to get into because it can touch so many people in so many ways. It might be a really sensitive topic for some people. So I'm not going to delve into the rights and wrongs of betting and gambling and the moral things, because I think that's very personal, it's very subjective, and it can be quite an emotive topic for some people. And I just don't want to. We're normally quite light on here, so it's not something I really want to get into in any great detail. But it's just to give a bit of a framework for what they're talking about there. And essentially, that's what is going to be his defense. I'm not encouraging people to gamble. I'm actually a part of trying to make people more aware of safe gambling or not gambling at all. How can that be considered the same thing? That is essentially going to be That's essentially going to be his defense. And until, as the article says there, until any more information comes out, it's going to be very hard to say anything one way or the other, because as they said, you're speculating. And that's why I read the article, because it explains it so well. It gives all the information. What I can't understand is why there isn't more people talking about this. I find that really, really, really strange. I mean, they talk there about, was it this one? Which article was it? They mention Ivan Toney in the Athletic article right down there at the bottom. But it's very like, Ivan Toney, when it was happening, was all over everything, all over the media, all over the social media, all over everything, okay? His face was everywhere. He literally left the country to play somewhere else over it. And I find it odd. I know it's not exactly the same situation, but anything in relation to gambling, I mean, it does blow up quite a bit. I find it very curious that more people aren't talking about this. And I wonder, is it a case that, look, maybe there's legal ramifications, because obviously this is all alleged, nothing has been proven, he hasn't even been charged, it's in a like preliminary investigation, and you have to be like quite careful. Like Flossie is saying there, like Tonali and Trippier, like they're other examples. All of this seems to be talked about very, very, very publicly. But with Emi Martinez, just nobody is talking about it. And it was only I saw this by chance. I don't understand. I don't understand. Luke is saying, I've never gambled, but I put a free bet on roulette and cashed in the tenner straight away. That's the best way to do it. Take it and run. And Hugh just saying, I think it's a little different because he wasn't caught gambling himself. And maybe that's it, that it's not being a big, big, big deal. But I still would have expected people to touch on it. Like, we're not making a big, massive deal about it. We're talking about the facts of the scenario, what might potentially happen. But we're not like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. We're just talking about the information that's available. I'm really surprised more people aren't. And as I said, in international break, there's not a lot to talk about. Like, there's really not. So I'm just really surprised. I'm really surprised. Like Flossie is saying there, like Trippier didn't even bet, it was his friend. Let me see, what else are you guys saying? FA surely have not ruined players' careers with false accusations. To be fair, this one isn't false, because if you go to the B Play site and you can see the ad was on the TV. So this stuff definitely happened, because I mean, you can see it, everybody can see it publicly. Go to B Play, you'll see his picture. Like, go to if you look up the ad, you'll see the ad with him and his brother. So I don't think you can say this is false in this particular scenario. The thing happened. It's whether it's actually breaching the rules or not. And that doesn't mean that everything the FA say are correct, though. It's not that everything the FA say are correct. Definitely, definitely not. Rob is saying when he was young, he would have been into the slot machines, but he gave that up and now he doesn't bet at all. That is the best way to do it. Flossie is saying, we're the reason you lost your house, but here's a leaflet. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. That is essentially what it is. Yes, no, they do. They definitely do. They definitely take things out of context. But it's even like what we said here, like The Athletic talked about the fact that the FA knew, but they didn't say it was being investigated. Then Yahoo go, oh, well, the Athletic said it's being investigated, even though they didn't. And it was several days later when the guy, Guillaume Balagi, he said it was being investigated, like days later. Do you know what I mean? So that's exactly a really good example of it. Things are taken and added to, or taken away from, or twisted a little bit, or it's out of context, or it's not quite, do you know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot of that goes around. But I just thought it was a really interesting topic. It's something a little bit different. It's something a little bit that I haven't really seen anybody talking about. So I didn't fully understand why. I thought it was interesting. I'll be definitely looking to see if there's any updates coming through on that. Now, it might take a little while, because as it is, it's a preliminary investigation. So after the preliminary investigation, they may decide, you know what, he's right, he's not endorsing betting, therefore we're not going to charge him at all. So it might just be a storm in a teacup, something and nothing, and there might not be an update. Nothing else might happen. But it was definitely worth talking about. Definitely interesting. And definitely a bit of a grey area, I think. But yeah, so I think that's us, guys. I think that is us. I want to say thank you again to all of the lovely teacups, to all of our 500 subscribers, and a very special, special thank you to both Rob and Mama Flossie. very first super chat ever on Spill the Tea Lou. And we love it. We love it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Chris, you're late. Was your coffee machine playing up? I know what's happened. Chris was going to be on time, and then his coffee machine played up. He had to nip out to Starbucks, and he's only just back now, but he's going to watch from the start. So welcome to Chris, and we'll chat to you later. But guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for keeping me company this afternoon. Hopefully, I will see you guys back here later on at 7 o'clock. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll speak to you all very soon. But thank you and enjoy your day. All the nice things.